Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk about dry firing your AR-15 or your handgun. Just kind of want to talk about how you can train at home without ammo, and just give you guys some tips on what I like to work on at home and what has helped me over the last few years as far as improving and just being a little more confident when you're at the range and just handling your firearms in general. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. First and foremost, we are empty, just so you guys know. These are 10-round magazines from Hex, just because I'm here in California. This is a fixed magazine rifle, just so you guys know. If you're interested in this rifle, make sure to check out the video I've done in the past. I'll post a link in the description below on this build. Fixed magazine, featureless, that's a whole other video. Like I said, I've done one in the past. Make sure to check it out. That's a whole other topic. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how you can train at home without ammo. I know ammo is super expensive these days. And also, obviously, with the weather being a little crappier at the moment, being in December, I just kind of wanted to give you guys some ideas of how to train at home and kind of what I like to train on at home. But yeah, so there's already a lot of videos online, obviously, on dry firing. I just kind of wanted to put another one out there as well, especially with the weather being the way it is right now in December. And also, I just kind of wish I learned some of this stuff when I first started shooting. It would have helped me save a lot of money on ammo at the range. And also, to be honest, a lot of time. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video and what I like to do as far as for dry firing. So first off, the only two things that you can't work on at home when it comes to shooting is accuracy and recoil management. Pretty much every other thing that comes down to shooting, as far as trigger press, sight alignment, your reloads, your proper grip, all that stuff you can work on dry firing at the house. Instead of going to the range, wasting time on that stuff, you can get confident and comfortable with that at the house. That way, when you do go to the range, you can just work on, like I said, putting it all together and just working on your accuracy and your recoil management. Let's kind of go ahead and get into the first thing, which is going to be sight alignment, or just finding your sights in general. Let's go ahead and do high ready and low ready. As far as with the AR-15 or the handgun, it's both going to be the same as far as indexing the optic out there and kind of bringing the optic to your eye as opposed to bringing your eyes to the optic. That's the first thing I want to talk about, and just getting comfortable with. Every time you draw that gun, kind of think of like a video game. If you were to see a player on the video game and you wanted to aim at him, if you went to press the aim button, it would suck if your cursor or your aimer was just all over the place, right? That would suck, right? So as soon as you see something that you want to shoot, it's nice to be able to just index right away and know that your red dot or your optic, whatever, is going to be on that thing that you're trying to shoot. So the first thing that's going to help with that is just dry firing a lot of reps of pushing the gun out there and finding that dot. So we'll get into the handgun in a little bit, but like I said, they're both very similar. Let's go ahead and get into the AR-15 and kind of what I like to work on as far as finding that dot. Alright guys, so obviously the most important thing when you're dry firing at home is making sure there's no ammo in your gun. It's always good to just double check, triple check. I'm not saying put it out of the room, but just make sure it's not anywhere you can reach or accidentally grab. So make sure your magazines are empty that you're going to be dry firing with, and just triple check, double check them. I just kind of want to go over the basics of dry firing your AR-15 at home. The first thing I think you should work on is just being able to find that dot right away. And the way to do that is just getting reps of working your high ready or your low ready and just pushing the optic out there or pushing the gun out there, finding your optic, and then being ready to go. So obviously with the AR-15, your safety is always on until your eyes are in your optic. So I'm going to go ahead and do it nice and slow. For those of you that are new shooters, this is called high ready, which is I'm ready to shoot if I want to. As far as loaded, safety is on. My muzzle is not pointing to where I'm flagging someone. It's above the target, but I'm also having my eyes right above the muzzle to where I could see where I'm wanting to shoot. But like I said, if someone's in front of me or something I don't want to flag, I'm not going to flag them if I have to move around. So again, just nice and slow. As soon as I drive the gun out there, I'm activating the safety off. The first thing that hits my face is the stock. So that's a good touch point. And now I have the dot. The optic is in my eye line. Again, I'm not trying to find the dot with my eyes. I'm bringing the dot to where my eyes are, if that makes sense. So again, one more time. I'm not getting the gun ready and then trying to find the dot. I'm driving the gun and driving the dot to my eye line, activating the safety off, bringing it into my shoulder, and now I'm ready to go. If I don't want to shoot anymore, before I take my eyes out of the optic, I activate the safety back on, and then I can take my eye out the optic, and I'm ready to go. So again, nice and slow. Safety's on right now. This is high ready. Say I want to shoot this way, I'm just gonna dry fire, put a little piece of tape, whatever type of something that you want to aim at. Even if you don't have tape, just find something in your room. And again, I'm just gonna drive the gun out there to that target, activate my safety on, turn the safety off. Now I'm pulling the rifle into my shoulder, and I'm good to go. Turn the safety back on, bring it back into high ready. So again, I'm not just bringing the gun like this. I have it tucked, turned a little bit. That way I can kind of get it a little bit closer to me. That way if I have to get in a narrow space, I'm still able to maneuver my rifle, but I'm not flagging anybody. And in order to do that again, you just bring it down, and then if you turn it a little bit, you can get a little bit further closer to you. So again, nice and slow for one more rep. It's safety off, and the stock is on my cheek. I have the dot in my eye line. Bring it back, and I'm good to go. Safety on, and now, again, just work on that a few times, get a lot of reps in. Again, you're not going to become a great shooter overnight. It's going to be repetitions over time. So the more you do this, the better you're going to get. I'm kind of speed it up just to show you what I mean in real time. Just do that a few times, and that's going to be your high ready. So now we're going to work on low ready, or compressed low ready, which is, say you're trying to run around a doorway or a hallway, you got to turn around. Again, I don't want to flag someone. I'm going to keep the muzzle down, and I'm going to have my thumb almost on that safety ready to activate. So if I turn a corner and I want to shoot over there, again, it's press the rifle out. I'm back to the same spot as I was from high ready. The stock is on my cheek. The dot is in my eye line. Safety is off. Bringing it into my shoulder. Now I don't want to shoot anymore. Safety on, and I'm good to go. One more time, nice and slow. Compressed low ready, muzzle down. Looking at my target. I drive it out. Cheek weld on the stock. Pull it back into the shoulder with the dot in my eye line, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to do it kind of real time again just to show you what I mean. Just keep working those reps. I know it looks kind of silly, but the more you do it, the better you get. When I first started shooting, I didn't always have the dot where I wanted it. I had to kind of find that cheek weld. But like I said, the more you dry fire, the faster and the more comfortable you're going to get, and always have the proper cheek weld to where, like I said, if you see something without even having to find the dot, I know if I index, it's going to be right where I want it to go. Only because I've worked on it at home dry firing. So right away, that's just something you can save time on, and you can work on that without ammo at the house. Instead of going to the range and working on that, you can do that at the house. That way you don't have to waste time at the range on trying to find your optic. You'll already be a lot more comfortable because you worked on reps at the house. So with that being said, let's just kind of talk about the handgun. Same thing really quick. We are empty, just so you know. Always double, triple check when you're dry firing. So with the handgun, you can either work from your concealment from draw, or what we're going to work on today is just finding that dot. Again, it's all going to be the same. If I were to draw, it's still going to come to right here, and I'm pushing the gun out, and I'm finding the dot. That's what you can work on at the house with your handgun. Even if you have iron sights, you're finding that dot or the front iron sight, and just working on pushing your gun out there, finding the iron sight or your dot, and then being ready to go. You can work on trigger press if you like as well, but for now, like I said, just working on the basics of having that index, finding the optic right away. So as soon as you drive your gun out there, boom, you know your dot's where you want it instead of trying to find the dot. Especially if you're new to the red dot on a handgun, a lot of people complain about not being able to find the dot. That's the main thing you can work on in order to help that, is dry firing. Having a proper index to where you're bringing the gun to your eye line. Instead of tucking your shoulder down and trying to find the optic with your head, you're bringing the optic to your eye. Same thing with the AR-15, same thing with the handgun. You just want to bring the sights to your eyes as opposed to bringing your eyes to the sights. So we're going to work from high ready, compressed high ready. We're just going to, nice and slow, draw the gun out there on the trigger, ready to go. Bring it back. This is high ready again, compressed high ready. ready to go. Ready to go. Every time the dot's right where I want it. So now, same thing, compressed low ready, it's the same thing. You're just, the muzzle's down now, and I'm drawing the gun out there. The dot's right where I want it. If you have iron sights, the same thing. You want to work with the front sight right where you want it every time. And again, I'm not saying you're going to have it right away if you're a new shooter, but the more you do this, the faster you're going to get, the more confident you're going to get. And you can always tell when you go to the range or when you're shooting competitions or just in general when you're shooting with other people, you can tell who dry fires at home and who doesn't. The person that dry fires at home is a lot faster, a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable, just more efficient handling their firearms. And again, that's from dry firing. So I highly recommend dry firing at the house. I just kind of wanted to talk about dry firing and give you guys an idea and kind of just let you guys know that it has helped me a lot. And if you're a new shooter, it'll help you save a lot of money and a lot of time at the range. Like I said, working on all the proper mechanics and all the stuff that you try to work on at the range, you can work on that at the house. Besides, like I said earlier, accuracy and recoil management for follow-up shots. But those are two things that are pretty easy to work on and control and get better on at the range. The stuff that's going to be a little trickier is clearing malfunctions. Like I said, you can dry fire all of that at the house. We'll do another video on dry firing malfunctions in the future. I just kind of wanted to talk about dry firing your handgun and your AR-15, kind of the basics of why you dry fire or how to dry fire. So besides finding your dot, which I think we've kind of covered so far, another thing is going to be reloads. So this is a fixed magazine rifle, like I said earlier, which is you're going to press the rear takedown button right here. Now the upper and the lower is disconnected, and I can press the magazine release. Now I'll give it a shake, and I can reinsert a new magazine, either charge it or send the bolt forward, and I'll be ready to go. So in order to work on reloads at the house, again, make sure your magazines are empty. You can put on your kit, you can put on your mag carrier, whatever. For me, I'm just going to let one sit right here in my waist or my pocket, and nice and slow, I'm just going to drive it out there, bring it in, press the button. Now I can grab a new magazine, I can drop that old one, shake it, and reinsert a new one, and be good to go. And then again, just keep repeating that, and that'll help me work on my reloads. That way when I get to the range, like I said, I'm just a lot faster on my reloads and a lot more confident. So I do it kind of real time just to show you what I mean. So again, just working on those, keep doing that, you're going to get a lot faster over time. So I just want to stress, this doesn't happen overnight. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, but dry firing is going to help you get a lot faster as opposed to only working on all of this stuff at the range. You can work on all this at the house, which is going to help you be a lot more efficient, like I said. So same thing with the handgun. You can even start from with the slide lock back. Have your empty magazine either in your mag carrier or in your pocket, whatever, and then you can work on, draw the gun out there, see that you're empty, grab your new magazine, insert, send the slide forward, and then draw it back out there. Obviously making sure there's no ammo anywhere, but that's just something you can work on. So again, let's do it real time just to show you what I mean. Slides lock back. Pretty much I'm acting like I was shooting and I went empty, which caused the slide to go back, and then I reinsert a new magazine, send it forward, good to go. So keep doing that, getting more reps in. Good to go. Lock it back, grab your magazine, same thing again. Just getting comfortable with reinserting a magazine and sending the slide forward. And after that, driving your gun back out there, finding the dot, which is what we worked on first. Like I said, finding the dot, and then after that, you can work on your reloads. So again, after we worked on finding our dot, dry firing, we're gonna work on reloads now. And those are just all stuff you can work on at the house with dry firing. So I hope this video helped you guys. For some of you guys that are new shooters, or maybe you guys that have been struggling to get to the range financially or the weather-wise, whatever. We all know all the above get in the way a lot of times. So I hope this video, like I said, helped some of you guys that have been itching to train or just kind of wanting to improve on handling your firearms. Dry firing is the way to do it. I'll be putting out more videos as far as how to dry fire your malfunctions, what type of malfunctions to dry fire, and dry firing videos in general, manipulating your weapon light, There's so much you can dry fire. If you have a scope, you can work on going prone, getting a good cheek weld, finding that optic. The list goes on. And I'll be putting videos out in the near future on all the above, just to kind of keep you guys able to train at the house without ammo, and just to help some of you guys that are maybe looking to get better at, like I said, at handling your firearm and wanting to train at home without spending money at the range. So, and another thing you can do with dry firing is getting a shot timer and kind of timing yourself and seeing where you're at. Working on your draw, timing your draw. You can set the timer to a par time. Let's say you want to get to a 1.5 draw, and then after you're good with the 1.5, put it up to 1 second and see if you can get that par time down. So again, those are videos that I'm going to be doing in the near future of working with your shot timer, going prone with your LPVO, finding your optic, working on dynamic reloads, working on malfunction clearing, just the list goes on. Manipulating your weapon light. These are all stuff you can work on at the house dry firing, and I'll be posting videos on those as well. So again, I just wanted to help some of you guys that have been maybe wondering how you can improve at home, or just people that have been struggling on certain basics of shooting. This is how you improve, like I said, is dry firing on them at the house. That way when you go to the range, you're going to save a lot of money, you're going to save a lot of time, and you're going to be a lot more efficient, just a lot more confident with your handgun or just your firearm in general. So again, if you guys have any questions, make sure to shoot me a comment down below, and thank you guys for watching.